was a great opportunity to take a more mindful approach to our New Year's resolutions, intentions, goals, whatever you want to call them. And so we have this unique opportunity during the Christmas and New Year period where what we can do is sit down and have a few extra moments or that pause or reflection to think about what worked and what didn't work. Because one of the things that can very much happen at New Year's resolutions is that we fall off the wagon very, very quickly. So I'm a firm believer in that when we're on holidays, there is such power in that because we're a lot more relaxed, we're a lot more clearer, and so we have this opportunity to really, really delve into some things that worked, the things that didn't work, and what's important to us. So I want to get away from those traditional resolutions that we make, the ones that say new year, new me. Okay, so I want you to think about this year having a more sustainable approach to what you're going to do as far as your health and your well-being is concerned. So the first thing that we want to do is start with some type of life audit. So, think about all of the things that are important to you. That might be health, relationships, growth and development. It could be career, it could be retirement. So once you think about all of those baskets that you might categorize everything into, then start to think about in those areas what drained you and what brought you energy. So we don't want to take on those things that took such a lot of work to do last year or this year. What we want to do is move forward and take with us those things that brought us joy, the things that brought us energy, the things that have a lot more meaning to our life rather than these going in for the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it happens to be. We want to do things that we're going to be able to sustain for the long haul. Because one of the things that I constantly hear about is that what the women struggle with is this having this consistency. So when you think about it, it's about what small changes you can make. So rather than making this complete overhaul to your well-being, what small upgrades can you make to an existing habit? So let's say, for example, you're someone who goes out and walks every morning. Maybe what you could do is add in an extra 5 minutes of strength training, or maybe that walk that's 30 minutes, you could cut it back by 5 minutes and do 5 minutes of strength training because you know that you're starting to feel like you don't have the strength to do things that you used to be able to do. And so that is a great way to back something on or tag something on to what you already are existingly doing. Okay, so there could be things like you might add in some stretching to a routine that you currently have. So rather than laying on the lounge, what you might do is lay on the floor and watch TV and do some stretching as an example. So lots of different ways that you can just add in these small tweaks. So things like when you're cleaning your teeth, you could be standing on one leg. And so you're improving your stability, you're improving balance at the time you're doing it. So rather than going all in, let's just think about what are the small things that I can do. All right. So what we then want to do is design a real life plan. So this is around not something that we think we need to do or that we're able to do whilst we're in holiday mode, but things that we can do that we can do whilst we're still working, if for example you're still working or fitting into that life that you currently have. So there's absolutely no point on earth saying I'm going to do a 5:30 a.m. workout when you're not a morning person. It's just not doable unless you're going to completely revamp that lifestyle. And that's where it becomes very hard, very difficult, and that we struggle to have consistency with it. So what we want to do is find that nice life rhythm that will allow us to fit in whatever works for us. We want to also have this level of flexibility, or avoid this all in or all out. I must exercise every day, or that we have these strict rules around ourselves, right? We want to think about, maybe it's how do I intentionally move a few times a week, or how do I get up from my desk or from in front of the TV every hour and do some type of movement where what I'm going to do is focus on my heart rate, as an example. And maybe that happens to be that you're going to do 1 minute of kettlebell swings or dumbbell swings or the likes. So we're avoiding that all in or all out thinking. And we're taking an approach that says, I'm going to be flexible in this because I know that life is going to happen. And what I want to do is have these small things that I can do consistently each and every day. Now, the next thing is that you really want to start really, really small. So you really want them to be barely noticeable. And so it might just be that you're going to add one extra vegetable onto your plate each day. Or maybe you're going to stand up for 1 minute after you eat a meal. Or maybe you're simply going to give your loved one a hug every morning. So it's about what is important to you. So we've talked about those categories, those buckets that we want to put everything into, your health, your relationships, and the likes. And so you're thinking about what different areas are going to bring me that energy, that satisfaction, and help me also feel connected to other people at the same time. So the first thing that we want to do is set up our environment for success. And so that might mean that you will find a small space in your house that is going to support these intentions that you're setting. So you want to identify any obstacles that may get in your road and plan for simple workarounds. So you might get that last minute call at work that says, oh, hey, listen, can you get this done? And you were just about to walk out the door to do your workout. So maybe you need to think about, is that thing really, really important? Does it have to be done? And if it does need to be done, then yes, you need to stay. But how can you still do that workout that maybe you promised yourself to do? But maybe it's not as long as it was. Maybe it's something that's a little bit smaller. What you also want to do is get yourself some type of accountability partner, and maybe not one, maybe two, who share the same type of goals or the same type of commitment that what you have, so that they can support you and cheer you on. But you also want them to give you a kick up the butt if you start taking a few steps back as well too. And the other thing that I think is really fabulous is to track. Okay, so write it down, whether that be in your notes on your phone, whether that be on your calendar, whether it's in a journal, it doesn't matter where it is. But when you start to track it, you can go back and see how much you have progressed during that time. And here's what's important with progress is that we celebrate that, because a lot of times we don't take a moment to actually go, oh, wow, I've managed to do this. We just keep plodding through. So I think what happens is that when we start to make these small changes, our confidence grows. Okay, we feel more able to do things. And it means that before you know it, we'll be at the end of this year. And what will have happened is you may have checked some of those things off of your box rather than making that all in New Year's resolution. And what happens is that you've given up after a couple of weeks. So, how do you take that approach again? Let's think about it. You want to reflect without judgment on your past year, what you've achieved, what you wish you would have achieved. We'll get that right in a minute. Bit of a tongue twister there. Okay. And also, what things brought you great joy and gave you energy, as opposed to the things that were such a real drudge to do, and that drained you of energy. Okay. So you want to identify the things that are truly, really, really important to you, so that moving forward, that's what you're working towards. And you just want to choose one, maybe two, but one that you can really, really focus on and that you can do day in, day out. Make sure you got the environment set up the way you want to set it up, okay? And you just plan for that first step, whatever that happens to be. So remember, it's not about completely transforming your life on the 1st of January. This is the perfect time when you're holidaying and you're feeling more relaxed to think about what's important to you and how you can make those small changes day in, day out, and get consistent with it, and make sure that you've got someone there to support you, because we want those lasting changes, so that what happens is, as we move into our 80s, 90s and beyond, that we're still able to do all the things that are important to us, as well as live independently. So I hope you enjoyed today. If you have any comments, please post below, and I'll see you all very soon. Okay, bye for now.